From the Dogfish Head Brewery, Sam Calagione.
It's been a long, strange, but wonderful trip.
From the Boston Beer Company, Jim Cook. Welcome back to the Friday Beer Buzz, Jim.
Well, it's nice to be back.
They're normally from Aberdeenshire in Scotland. From Brewdog, we have James Watt and Martin Dickey. Welcome to the show, guys.
Biggest mission today is just to make other people as passionate about your state's craft beers as we are.
And now, the three-time winner of the Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters Excellence in Broadcasting Award. The recipient of 2 Pennsylvania Associated Press Broadcasters Association Awards for Excellence, promoting and advancing the craft and microbrew culture in Northeast PA. This is another edition of
The Friday Beer Buzz! The Friday Beer Buzz, powered by Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar in Exeter. Sabatini's, the area's greatest selection of rare craft and imported beers. Growlers and crowlers and 37 rotating drafts at Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar, Wyoming Avenue in Exeter. Lindo Sabatini's with us. Good morning, Lindo.
Good morning.
Did you see that face on Jason when he smelled this beer today?
No, I missed it.
I can do it again because
the nose on it.
Ooh, like
All right, Lindo, of course, good news, right? The state's eased some restrictions, so I'm sure that's made things a little bit easier. You said even just the fact that you can hand a beer or something over the bar.
Yeah, I mean, some of the rules that stopped help us. I mean, having people being able to sit at the bar is fantastic. Being able to actually hand that beer over the bar and not have to run all the way around the bar to give it to them from the opposite side of the bar is really good. I mean, it's not good for our step counts because we did lose.
you were losing a lot of calories.
We lost a lot of steps, but at the end of the night, losing those steps is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a very good thing. And Bill from My Beer Buzz with us as always. Hi, Bill.
Good morning, and the happiest of Fridays to everyone there.
Yeah, happy Friday. How are you?
You know, I'm good. You know, I want to chime in on the music talk this morning. I don't want to really chime in on Prince Philip or gun control, but the music talk, for me, and here there are sort of two here. There's the motivating music, and then there's the sort of melancholy, moody music. So the melancholy for me is always Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. And the motivating one is also Queen, and it's called Keep Yourself Alive. It's not a really popular song by Queen.
I love that song.
Google that song. That will always remind me of, like, the 1970s, Cruising the Square kind of thing.
Yeah, because we were talking about how it can be as addictive as other things, music, but it's really good for your brain.
It is, yeah. It's good for my brain, at least. I'm in the Snedeker school of, like, I don't get in the car without the radio being on. So,
yeah.
And like Snedeker said, the good thing is it doesn't really affect your lives. You never heard someone go, man, what happened? You had everything. Goes, yeah, too much Queen. Like, it just, you know what I mean? Like, you don't ever hear someone's like, man, threw it all away for Queen, huh?
Good for your brain. All right, yes. So we have beer news, I'm sure, today.
We do. We have some breaking beer news, and it comes out of the West Coast, out of Escondido, California, from the Stone Brewing Company. We have 2 exciting tidbits, and they are beers that are returning. One is a classic beer that comes back every year, and it is called Stone Farking Wheaton Woot Stout.
Oh, jeez.
And it's a collaboration with, you got to be careful there, it's a collaboration with Drew Curtis of Fark.com, Will Wheaton of fame on Star Trek and Third Rock and all the other
blogs.
Yeah,
that's what he does.
And blogs, yeah. Famous for having 1 L in his will, like I have 1 L in my bill. And Greg Cook from Stone, and it's an imperial stout with pecans and wheat and rye, and then they take a quarter of it, not all of it, and they barrel age that in bourbon barrels, and then they blend it all back together.
Wow.
And it hits 11.5% ABV.
Yeah.
And every year they put new cosmic artwork on it. This year the artwork will be by Tom Rainey. He's an artist that specializes in that sort of thing. And they have taken the crazy gargoyle. If you go to mybeerbuzz.com, click on breaking news. It's in that little section.
Okay.
They've taken the gargoyle and they've made the gargoyle in like a cosmic space uniform. I think it looks really cool. It's a great beer. It's not hard to get, but I wouldn't call it easy to get. So watch out for that one when that one hits the shelves in Sabatini, and try it. It is a really good stout. Also coming from Stone, they have another beer called Shokoveza.
One more time? What is it?
You have to say Shokoveza. You have to pronounce it brightly like that. It begins with an X. It's Xocoveza. But they have a new variant coming out that's called Shokoveza Tres Leches.
Wow. You should talk like that all the time for everything.
Yeah, no, we could do that all day if you want.
Yeah.
It's based on sort of a Mexican hot chocolate, and that's what the original Shokoveza was. And the Tres Leches is the 3 milks, and that's another sort of traditional dessert in Mexico. And so they blended the two to make up this Shokoveza Tres Leches. It has chocolate, coffee, pasilla peppers, lactose, vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, rice, and oats. And oats are for the soft mouthfeel. It gives it that sort of creamy, soft feeling. That will hit 8.5% ABV. It will be available in 12-ounce cans and 22-ounce bottles. That's another one. Watch for it to hit the shelves in Sabatini's. I think we are going to see that one for a little while. But the Wheat and Root Stout we will see, I think, relatively soon. Not to be outdone, Dogfish Head Miami residency has a new beer called Sweat, ? Sweet! Exclamation point. So it's Sweat, Sweet. And it's a collaboration beer coming out of Miami. There's a Sweat Records company down there, and it's a collaboration. You know, Dr. Shed loves to do these musical collaborations, and this is another one. So they'll be collaborating with Sweat Records. The beer has jackfruit, tamarind, cardamom, and sea salt, and it will hit 5.4% ABV.
What's jackfruit?
What's jackfruit?
I think I know. Doesn't it look like a jester, like a court jester, or is that something else?
You know, they use jackfruit in a lot of vegetarian, like barbecue meat, barbecue sandwiches. So I've had jackfruit. I'm not sure I've ever had jackfruit in its raw form. You know, I've had it always in a package where it's got barbecue sauce on it, and they're trying to make it feel like pork or something else. But yeah, you have to Google that one, Jason.
Yeah, it's got like a funky like. Yeah, it doesn't look like a court jester at all. It looks like it looks like Max Headroom's hair, doesn't it? Do you see that?
What the heck? It does. It's very.
It really does.
That is the second reference today, and I've only been up for a couple hours to Max Headroom. I have had 2 references to Max Headroom already today, Jason. So
and if you don't know, don't worry about it.
Our last little tidbit of news is one that I think will be a trend, and watch for it because it's becoming more and more popular. It comes from New Belgium Brewing in Fort Collins, Colorado, and Asheville, North Carolina, one of my favorite places to visit, by the way. And the beer is called, and here's another one, the beer is called Oh Hi, with an exclamation point at the end, right? And it is a session sour beer, but it is a blend with kombucha. And it is a collaboration with Flying Embers Kombucha. And so it has Colorado-grown sage, and here's another one to Google, Jason, Pixie Tangerine Extract.
Oh, those I know. I eat them all the time.
And that is blended with a wood-aged golden sour ale. And they call their wood-aged golden sour Oscar, believe it or not. They name their beers. And I think this is a trend. This is the beginning of a trend where you're going to see kombucha, a fermented beverage. If you've ever looked up or tasted a kombucha, they lead into a sour beer. And it's a collaboration with Flying Embers. And the name comes from the fact that Flying Embers is in Ojai, Ojai, California, and they came up with this Ojai name. But I think you're going to see more and more kombucha blend beers hitting the market. This is just the first.
Okay. And now I have to say that today's beer, Jason had the just most perplexed. I don't know, not perplexed, excited, surprised.
It's got a pungent's the wrong word. I immediately smelled something I recognized. I'm like, well, that's really interesting.
It's very strong.
I smell grapefruit, right? Am I right with that?
Yeah. I get grapefruit in the nose.
Okay, yeah, okay. You looked at me like, no, that's not grapefruit. That's something else. It is grapefruit, right? Yeah.
Well, let's talk about today's beer first.
It is. The beer is called Juicy Gossip, and it comes to us from one of the breweries we feature quite a bit, and that's Bell's Brewery in Comstock, Michigan. I had a chance to sample this one, Jason, about 2 months ago, month and a half ago, and I will tell you, my first and immediate reaction was it has a lot of grapefruit in the nose. I'm a huge fan of grapefruit in beers, so my nose is always looking for that. But, yeah, no, I think you hit it spot on. It's a juicy pale ale. And so whenever we see the word juicy in the descriptor or in the name of a beer, we traditionally think that beer will be fruit forward. And that fruit forward doesn't just limit itself to the taste. It's also in the nose and sometimes in even the mouthfeel. So this is a juicy pale ale. It hits 4% ABV, and it was first released in the Bell's Jingle Bells variety pack in the fall of 2020. And yeah, I think it's very fruit forward, and I think you'll find all sorts of things if you dig around in there. You may find tangerine, you may find citrus, you may find lemon, you may find orange. But I think grapefruit dominates this beer.
It doesn't really hang on, though. It's interesting. It's not overpowering. The smell is there.
I think it's refreshing.
It's really good. It's really good. It doesn't linger. Like, I don't feel like I ate a grapefruit, but I felt like I smelled one. If that makes any sense. It's really easy to drink.
There's no grapefruit added into it. I mean, it's coming from the hops. This beer is brewed with Strata, Idaho 7, and Azacca hops. And whatever they did to mix these three hops together, you really do get a lot of citrus, or I don't know about maybe pineapple. I'm getting some other kind of fruit in there too.
Jackfruit?
I don't know about the jackfruit.
Just making sure.
Yeah, the Idaho 7 is famous for citrusy sort of flavors like grapefruit, and it also imparts sort of a late weird. And I don't mean weird bad, but late odd to the palate melon flavor that I kind of like in the beer. It's 12-ounce bottles, Lindo, yes?
Yep.
Yep.
12-ounce bottles. It comes in 6-packs. We actually do have it on draft right now in both buildings. And with the lower ABV, for right now, it's this time of the year. If you're going to look to have something in the backyard by the grill or whatever, this is a great beer for it.
Has there ever been, just a personal question here, has there ever been any sort of push to have sample size cans and bottles, kind of like the little, for people like me, like I don't think I'd drink a whole bottle of this, but I would love to have a small glass of it, or is it just the idea of sharing with friends?
Well, on draft, you can get 4 ounces or 10 ounces if you wanted a smaller.
There's your answer.
Just to try it. But in package world, most breweries don't go smaller than
this cost effectiveness.
Well, than 12 ounces. I mean, okay. But we do have a couple.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was going to say there have been a few breweries that have done like a weird small sample size variety 6-pack, but it's hugely labor intensive to do. We are seeing now, like Cascade Brewing Company out of Portland, Oregon, is doing 250 ml cans, and they're a little bit more along the slimline cans that you see for energy drinks and some of these other things. So I think you'll see more and more variety in can sizes, and I think we will see this 250 ml size can in our markets. I'm sure Cascade will get it out to our markets because many of their beers are coming out in that size. And a brewery like Off Color in Chicago is also experimenting. Jason, as Lindo said, if you sit at the bar at Sab's, you can get sort of a just larger than a shot kind of glass, and you can try, and my friends and I typically do this, you can try 5 or 6 or 7 different beers and then pick the one you like, when you want to commit to a 12-ounce or a 16-ounce.
Yeah, my apologies for rebranding this show Beer for Babies, but I'm still new at this. I'm really interested in it. I think you guys have really piqued an interest.
Well, for somebody that doesn't drink a lot of beer, if you're looking to try a couple different ones and you're ordering pints of each one of them, you're not going to get very far. So if you wanted to go try 6 or 7 beers and
do get, I mean, he's joking saying that, but you do get people who come in and they really probably can be overwhelmed by the sheer amount of ones out there, so they do probably ask.
We have a lot of people that come in and they'll order, and they'll look at the list, they'll order 3 or 4 4-ounce beers, and they try them all, and that's how they decide which one they're going to have with their pizza.
Right.
And then they'll order a pint of whichever one they liked the best, or whatever their reasonings are. That's how it works. But back to the smaller package of beer, a lot of breweries, like he mentioned Cascade, with a smaller package size, they can get what they need cost per ounce, and it's still going to sell, because a lot of their beers are $25, $30 a bottle on a 750. So if they're able to get $10 for an 8-ounce can, which they do, then they're able to sell that beer easier, because who wants to spend $30 on a beer? Not everybody.
Right, especially if you want to sample. But thank you for the information.
And it also works with the. I have some old ales from England that are coming in an 8-ounce can now, because it's 12% alcohol.
Right.
So you might not want to drink 750 mLs of barley wine, so you can get it now in an 8-ounce bottle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It also makes me feel like bigger, because I'm small, and small cans make me feel like Andre the Giant.
We're drinking Bell's Juicy Gossip. Now, this one you said is on draft right now?
It's on draft in both buildings, and we do have it in 6-pack bottles to go.
All right, Bill, thank you so much also for checking in.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
It was great to talk to you. The Friday Beer Buzz, powered by Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar in Exeter. Sabatini's, with the area's greatest selection of rare, craft, and imported beer. Growlers and Crowlers, 37 rotating drafts at Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar, Wyoming Avenue, Exeter. The Friday Beer Buzz, bringing good beers and good people together.